that's Kiribati, one of the perils in the Pacific Ocean, and as part of the Earth. Yes, we have one Earth, and we have one chance here. And so let's stand closely together to each other so that we can sense the existence of the Earth. Now, I'm Chen Fan, the moderator for today's session. And in the past couple of years, we walked through the icy frozen Copenhagen, and now we strive to restore the people's trust in Durban platform. And now we are heading for the Paris round of new legal instrument. And I think, just like most of the people here, we are touched by people's cares about eco-sustainability, the care about the tragedy caused by the climate change. And certainly, we expect
Filipino friends, and they're buckling in for a really bad typhoon. I'm reminded it's only been a year since we saw a super typhoon hit the Philippines, Typhoon Haiyan, and these record-breaking heat events, the extreme events, typhoons and such, remind us that indeed we do have a very fragile Earth, and
the same plight that we face also in our home islands, or my island of Tobago. And this is not a documentary to show the world that what we are facing.
Background for those who are not very familiar with Kiribati. Kiribati is a group of 33 small coral atolls. All except one are low-lying and do not rise more than 3 meters above the sea. The total combined land area is 811 square meters, about the size of Singapore, but scattered over an area of 3.5
is really vast. And next, we would like to invite Dr. Chen, who is going to share with us Taiwan's climate change policy and cooperative efforts with small island countries. I think that's the response to Kiribati's plan. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator, Your Excellency, Minister, and distinguished panelists, and my dear and honorable legislator from Taiwan, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm so happy to share with you the topic of Taiwan's climate change policy and cooperation with small island countries. For today's talk. Today, first I am going to show you the background information of Taiwan regarding climate change. Second, I will talk about the major policies on mitigation and adaptation in Taiwan especially. Third, the integration of technology, policy, and education. And the most important is our cooperation with small island country in the Pan-Pacific. Let me show you the geographic information of Taiwan. Don't move, moderator. This is Taiwan, and we are here. Now, let me introduce the major policies for mitigation and adaptation in Taiwan and how the vision of our climate actions. First, some background of Taiwan on climate change. We are about 23 million people live in an area of 36 square kilometers. We are one of the 35 biodiversity hotspots that are facing seriously changing of climate change. In terms of economy, we are ranked at 14th in the world. we are also proud of our high tech. For instance, we are among the top in LED, semiconductor, and bike productions. Total value of production in solar battery. So we have developed many low carbon technologies fit for low carbon lifestyle. For the CO2 emission profile, Taiwan's CO2 emission by sector. In 2012, CO2 emission from fossil consumption was about 250 megatons of CO2 equivalent. Main emitter for our energy for the supply side and industry sector for the demand side. Overall CO2 emission reduction results shown here. CO2 emission trend has improved, and during the year 2010 to 2012, our economy recovery period, CO2 emission rebounded. Also, over CO2 emission trend has improved. Totally, CO2 emission intensity continued to decrease average. And we can see, according to the latest IPCC AR5 finding, Taiwan is also facing serious climate change issue, which can be classified into 4 major categories. The first one is climate-related natural hazards happened. The frequent and the heavy is more and more severe, also combined with other natural hazards, such as earthquake and landslide. The second we want to address is Taiwan has a wide range of vulnerability area island-wide. High population density and infrastructure are exposed in the high-risk area. And we can see this makes Taiwan more difficult to deal with the impact of climate change. Mainly from the precipitation show that Taiwan is facing more and more climate challenges. Therefore, we need to face the threats from climate change, including the nature of vulnerability, the effect of socio-economic impact, and the impact by global climate. But what we need? We need adaptation strategy. We need mitigation technology and climate finance mechanisms. Also comprehensive legislative framework. It is the time to decide our future, to take action together, including everyone. Now let me introduce the major policies for mitigation and adaptation in Taiwan and the vision of our climate actions. The government of Taiwan has made a voluntary commitment to reduce our emission by at least 30% from the BAU business as usual scenario by the year 2020. Now we are holding the 4th National Energy Conference in Taiwan, and along with the result of COP20, we will further modify our energy and climate policy accordingly. We considered different growth scenarios in different economic conditions for Taiwan's BAU CO2 emission baseline. Taiwan has to apply the following key technology to close the gap. First is to improve energy efficiency. Second is renewable energy. Third is carbon capture and storage and utility. The concepts of our long-term low-carbon path are based on the scenario modeling. It is classified into energy, economy, environment, and social, combined with 3E. 3E is environment, energy, and economy, modeling, climate modeling, and hazards impact assessment. I show you 4 scenarios for long-term low-carbon paths in Taiwan. The first one is modern luxury, is high GDP. The second one is tech autobahns, high GDP and moderate BAU setting, and also low GDP minimum. But how to action? Talking about our energy and the GHG legislations. In order to reach our voluntary targets, Taiwan government has introduced 4 legislations. The Renewable Energy Development Act and the Energy Management Law have already been enacted. However, the GHG reduction bill is currently under review in the legislation yuan, where a new bill on climate change adaptation also being introduced by 19 legislators. We have also developed the National Climate Change Adaptation Guidelines, which covered 8 major domains. The 8 domains are, the first one is disaster, and the second one, infrastructure, water resource, and land use, coastal zone, and health as well. The most important is the sincerity, effect and impact of health. Next, I will talk about the integration of technology, policy, and most important, education. Taiwan's strategic planning is to identify our cost-benefit analysis of adaptation measures through mitigation and adaptation simulation models. Our application and implementation are to deal with the climate extreme event, focus on green energy, clean water, PV, machinery, and cooperate with climate finance mechanism, especially in the international disaster relief. Mitigation and adaptation technology from Taiwan for mitigation aspects. For example, solar power, efficient lighting, and geothermal, green campus, low carbon community as well. For adaptation, it is emergency water purification and land mudslide, early warning system, also international disaster response system is very important. Now, how to take actions from the ecosystem resilient, from the sustainable land use, the best use of energy and resources, carbon capture and storage and utility development, and live local, consumer local, live local, consumer local, increasing renewable energy, affordable cost and carbon reduction, also green industry development and ecosystem is the most important. Next, I will talk about the International Cooperation Program on Climate Change. Our cooperation is focused in 4 areas. The first one is clean energy. The second one is food security, and health and medical and education. Our cooperation programs are also extended to small island country and the Pacific. One Earth has only one chance. We also need to raise our voice, not the sea level. Let us talk together, raise our voice. One Earth, one chance. Talk together. One Earth, one chance. That's our opportunity. One Earth, one chance. To be concluded, I want to say Taiwan is willing to work with the international community to mitigate climate change and to adapt its adverse effect, and to enhance public awareness in energy saving and carbon reduction. We should address all the aspects of climate change issues, both mitigation and adaptation, and make low carbon action a part of our daily life. We all know that the longer we wait to take action, the more our future generation will to pay. Moderator and distinguished guests, make Taiwan part of the solution. Global warming is not the opportunity for somebody. It's an opportunity for everybody. We think all swim together, make Taiwan part of the solution. One Earth, one chance. Thank you very much.
Taiwan Research Institute is a non-profit organization, research and engineering, and we have about 5,600 staff, a little bit more if you're not counting the counter people. And we have 1,000 patents roughly per year. And we are one of the global research institutes recognized by some of the American experts.
When I was invited to speak here, it reminded me of another invitation I had recently, where I was invited to a very prestigious occasion. And I said to the organizers, thank you, but I can think of at least 10 people better qualified than me. And the organizers replied, so can we, Sir Graham, but they've all turned us down. Moderator, you very kindly introduced me, but I'm actually no longer...
Thank you very much for inviting me to make a presentation here. It is my great honor to see many of the distinguished guests and colleagues here. I myself work at the Mitsui and the Mitsui Institute. This is a think tank for Mitsui Co. Mitsui Co. is an investment and trading company. But at this issue, my task is analyze the future. But the definition of the future is it is quite wrong. Not 5-7 years future, not 10, 20.